Welcome to another episode of Joan Deserves a Musical, where I talk about my efforts to turn the life of Joan of Arc into a family-friendly animated musical. I have been talking about my efforts. Today, I want to talk a little bit about your efforts. Holy cow! I cannot believe all the generous people who have donated to this fundraiser we've been doing to be able to produce these songs. It's really wild. When Amanda first suggested this to me, we should crowdfund money to make professional recordings of these songs. I was thinking, okay, $4,000 is the number she said. Can I get 200 people to donate $20? you know, can I get 400 people to donate $100? Like that's how I was thinking about this. And then we only had about a week to be able to raise these funds, and uh, people showed up and donated much more than $10 and $20, and it took about 25 hours to raise the $4,000, and so we lifted it to $5,000 because now we're thinking we're gonna produce a bonus track, and $5,000 is also maybe too modest a goal for for what we're doing here, for the number of people who want to support. I'm just so grateful to everyone. Um, it really feels miraculous. And today's episode is called Miracles because I want to talk about miracles. Part of the reason I started this series is because so many crazy, amazing, wonderful, inexplicable things were happening on my journey to turn Joan's life into an animated musical, right? Like cold outreach to one songwriter landed me in a partnership with Amanda, who is just a lifelong Joan devotee. Like that's miraculous, right? And cold outreach to an animation studio, seeing if I could get them to produce 5 minutes of demo footage that I could use to hopefully get someone to fund this project, led to a conversation about optioning, and it's just, the whole thing's been wild. But what I'm learning is that there are actually two kinds of miracles. There's the ones you recognize as soon as you see them, right? Like I reach out to a random Catholic pop star and she says, "How did you find me? I love Joan of Arc." That's immediately recognizable as a miracle. But let me tell you about miracles that are sometimes harder to recognize. And it relates directly to this fundraising project. So a month or two ago, I went to the Pacific Northwest, and while I was passing through Portland, miraculously, I was able to meet up with Amanda in person. We were able to do a little production of the songs for a small group of friends and family, and that was miraculous. Obviously, just on the face of it, but that journey was so hard. We had missed connections and delayed flights, and me and my wife and 4 young kids spent the night in the Denver airport, and that was all lousy. But then we got to Portland, and it turns out because we were delayed, Amanda changed her plans, and she and I actually had more time together than we would have. So it's like, okay, maybe that works out. But there was one thing in Portland that I just didn't understand, that was just upsetting to me, and just like felt like, how could this happen? It's such a little thing, but it hurts so much. We did that live performance, and I set up my phone to record it. I just leaned it against a little, like a handrail or something, and hit record. It had me talking at the little podium thing. It had Amanda sitting at the piano, and it started recording. And then we started the show, and we like introduced each other. I explained how I met Amanda. Amanda explained how she met me, or whatever. And then as soon as we said the words, "Okay, let's get started," for some reason my phone stopped recording. I don't know why. I can't figure it out. I had a text message from a friend, and I thought maybe that had somehow interrupted it. But since being home, I've been recording videos of my kids and get text messages, and it doesn't interrupt. I have no idea why it stopped recording. And it seems so unfair because that was the only way I was going to have a recording of this music. And as I was thinking, like, when I go to an executive producer to talk about this music, I want to remember how the music goes. And I couldn't. I didn't have, I had nothing. And when I realized I had nothing that day, when I saw, oh no, it only recorded like 5 minutes, it didn't get what I wanted, I went back to my hotel, and I recorded as best as I could remember the tune of some of the songs. That some of them, I was hearing for the first time that day, And so I didn't remember them well enough. Um, and so that was upsetting to me, and it felt like such a depressing technological failure, right? Um, but because of that, when Amanda reached out to me, she said, "Hey, did you get a recording of the songs? I think it'd be good if you had a recording for the executive producer." And I had to tell her, "No, my phone, I don't know what happened, but it let us down." Um, and then she said, "Well, what if we do a fundraiser and make nice recordings? What if we do it professionally?" And I think if my phone had been working, I think if it had not failed in recording, I might have said, no, it's fine. I'll just chop up what I have. We can pull the audio out of it. At least we'll have something. Um, but because we had nothing, we went the crowdsourcing route. And now I can't help but be really grateful that for whatever unknown reason, my phone randomly stopped recording right at the moment when I needed it to start recording. And that's what I mean by miracles that don't look like miracles right away. There are so many points in this story, this experience, this journey I've been on, where immediately I've been like, that was a miracle. I'm really grateful that happened. I'm happy to be a part of this, right? But there have been a few very small moments where it's like, really? How could this happen? But slowly, as time goes on, those are turning out to be miracles too. It's like this journey is really being guided and steered by someone much wiser than me. Just another example. I've been recording these videos and turned it into a podcast. This weekly series of describing my efforts to turn the life of Joan of Arc into a family-friendly animated musical. There was one episode, inexplicably, I recorded. I did it, and then when I went to publish it, the file was corrupted for some reason. It didn't work, and I had to panic and record a different thing. But it's interesting because that episode was back in January when Amanda first said, "Okay, I want to do this." And at that time, we were thinking we were going to have to do some huge Kickstarter campaign for her to be able to create these, to even just write the songs. And so that video was me announcing, "Hey, we're doing a Kickstarter." And then the way opened up that we didn't have to do that. She was able to just write the songs out of the goodness of her heart, which is still remarkable to me. But if I had published that video, there may have been mass confusion. Maybe when I came around now in August and said, "Hey, we're doing a crowdsourcing campaign," everyone would have been like, "Yeah, we heard this before. What happened to the last one?" Like, I don't know. It's the only time I've had a recording of any video get corrupted, and I produce daily videos for my job at work. So it's just, I am more and more in awe at this project and the way it goes. I am so grateful and overwhelmed by the many people who have contributed so much money to this campaign. It did not take 100 or 200 people to get to our goal. It only took like 60. And after that, we raised the goal. The goal is now 5,000, so we can make an additional song, and we'll keep it running. We said we'd let it run until August 12th. So we'll let it run until August 12th, and we will see what opportunities open up to us with the money that's raised here. I'm committed to investing it all in this project, and I'm really, man, I had an episode a time or two ago saying things were winding down. I feel like things are picking up. Maybe this is just a push to the end, but holy moly, I think August is going to be the biggest month yet.